Might have noticed some of them scenes from Jason Aldean are Portland, Oregon. That's right, Portland, Oregon. Where people actually had the balls to stand up to the fucking government. Where else in the country are they doing that? And of course, what do these racist rednecks do? Now we get to see that there are a lot of black folks who took part in those marches that didn't do anything wrong. We also get to see how when people wanted to bust the windows on a building, throw rocks in there and beer bottles and such, you got to see it was primarily white kids doing that. Young white people who were doing that. But of course, all these racist rednecks, all they want to do is any excuse. Any excuse. When the cop comes and arrests them because they were fucking their daughter, oh, they hate the cop. But when it comes to you standing up for your rights, how dare you do that? Tyler Frericks was so fucking goddamn offended that Colin Kaepernick wouldn't stand for the national anthem or salute the goddamn flag, that he wanted to make a post about how a soldier should punch Colin Kaepernick in the throat. Really? Well, that's attempted murder, you dumb shit. Why would you want a soldier to murder a man? Because he won't do what you want right when you want it. Forced nationalism is horrible. Look at the USSR. Look at Nazi Germany. Look at present-day United States. What do you have to look forward to in a small town? %70 increase in incest, 200% increase in alcohol consumption, increased chances of pregnancy, increased chances of high school pregnancy. You have to go to a minority high school to approach those same numbers of pregnancies. What do you have to look forward to in a small town? Calling up your best friend to take you on a weekend outing, to travel a couple 100 miles to get an abortion so you don't have to have your dad's kid. Now, Portland, Oregon, I got to see a lot of people that were actually standing up to the government, actually fighting back. And although I abhor violence, at this point, the homeless people need to be allowed to defend themselves. The black codes were created to try to prevent black people from having any say-so in Southern society. They were created to manipulate the 13th Amendment. For the North, in the Civil War, a lot of people say, oh, well, you know, it wasn't about slavery. It was never about slavery. They just made it about slavery. No. The southern states that left the Union showed their cowardice. They would only do things if they got exactly what they wanted. All of the southern states that left the Union cited the one states' right that they were fighting for as being the right to own slaves. That's right, the right to own slaves. So sure, it wasn't about slavery. Sure, it wasn't. Believe it or not, there's actually people who might believe you when you say that shit. I'm not one of them. Portland, Oregon seems to be the only people with the balls enough to stand up to the government, to stand up to the bigots, to stand up to the mass quantities of murders by police officers and the public towards the homeless. Did you know you're more than twice as likely to be killed as a homeless person? You are more than twice as likely to be killed than anyone else. And that's not considering per capita. Because if we were to do that, then we have to recognize that 0.18% of the population, 0.18% of the population are homeless. I'll say that one more again for those of y'all in the nosebleed section. 0.18% of our population are homeless, and they account for, well, a full 2/3 of those killed in the United States every year. A full 2/3 are homeless. A black man is more likely to be killed if he's homeless. A white man, more likely to be killed if he's homeless. But that doesn't fit your BS, does it? That aldean character can kiss my rosy red ass. What does he know about small towns? He knows how to be pampered. He knows how to have money. He knows how to talk big. Tell you what though, I'm half his size. I'm not just half his size, I'm half his weight. I'm gimpy as fuck and probably couldn't beat my way out of a wet paper bag. But I'm not a coward and I've taken ass whoopings on principle. Let's ask Jason Aldean if he's ever been to prison for protecting children. Let's ask him if he's ever been to jail for protecting children. Let's ask him how many women he's actually physically assisted in moving out of an abusive relationship and an abusive situation. This Aldean feller is a mouth and nothing more. He's a coward, just like every soldier. Any soldier who wants to talk about the Jesus yet still join the military is completely full of shit. There ain't no God there and you didn't read the book. And you want to hate on homosexuals and say how they shouldn't be in the military with you. Well, you know what? That's just you being a bigot. That's not what Jesus instructed you to do. He said, love one another as I have loved you. But you know what? That might include chasing your dumb ass with a whip. If Jesus were alive today, he'd get arrested for being a racist, for having a whip, for using a whip. He'd be arrested for all sorts of things, because it's illegal to chase somebody with a fucking weapon like that. Ah, here's what I'm looking for. Found this on the ground earlier. This does not belong on the ground. Why do I have this? Because somebody dropped it today. Is that Jason Aldean character going to be angry at me because I didn't properly dispose of an American flag that had touched the ground? It's only half of an American flag, and it's not even the right colors. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. I got this little siren thing here that I made. I got it pressured up to 50 psi. I want to find out how much psi these things will actually take. That way I can... Let me cover my ears when I do this. Super loud.